Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this is a paid request for Ben. Very nice guy. Hope you're doing well, man. Sorry for the lateness of the video, but thank you for the request. I'll try to get to your others as soon as I possibly can. But for those out there, if you're interested in requesting any type of videos, a tier list, a topic, a review, a re-review, a video game playthrough, ranking, movie, a reaction, whatever the case may be, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal. I do have a CashApp as well. Links are down below in the info box. I'll get to as soon as I possibly can. But this is for the 2000 film Chopper, which I had heard of, and I think I had seen this film once before, about the guy Mark Chopper Reed, which was an Australian gang member, and he was definitely a bit of a character who he's passed away now, but he was alive around the time this film got made, and seemed like he liked it. He liked Eric Bana's portrayal, which Eric Bana is definitely the MVP. He's the reason to watch it. He does a very interesting performance where he really makes the guy intriguing as to what he'll do next. He has kind of this jovial attitude when he's doing certain things, and you try and get a handle on what his morality is, or if he has a code, or if it is, what is that code? Because there's certain things like will catch me off guard. Like, okay, you think he's going to do this, but then he does this, and then definitely an interesting character. And as it says from the beginning, it is not a biography. As he puts it, humanity doesn't like me. I'm a bloody freak show. And it goes through some bits of him in prison in 1978. And then a bit of when he gets out in the 80s, where he's with his girlfriend. And then there's a bit of a contract out on him. And this guy he knew, Jimmy, may be a part of that. When I first saw this and watched it again, I remember being kind of, not weirded out, but kind of wondering, man, I thought they were going to talk a lot more about his life. Because I remember reading up some stuff about him, and it seemed like a lot more stuff happened in his life. Now, granted, this is from the stuff he wrote in his book. And, some say, well, how much of that was fiction? How much of that was not fiction? How much of that was embellished? I don't know. But like I said, it says itself, it's not a biography, so I feel like we're going to see more of this guy's life. But we only saw like a small portion of it. Maybe that helps to keep it more focused and not be too long of a movie. But there's a part of me that wanted to, maybe because I was so intrigued by the character, that I wanted to see more of his history. Maybe a bit earlier than the prison stuff and the other stuff that happened. Because I do remember that supposedly he was kind of a vigilante, because he would like go after criminals that did drugs, but then the movie portrays that he also does drugs himself. And I think the real Chopper said that, well, yeah, I kind of did, because, how can you hate something if you don't try it? So I guess he did try it, but then he didn't like it, but they went after people who were drug dealers. Anyway, that either with a blowtorch or bolt cutters, he would like remove their toes until he was given money, and then he would leave them alone. Now, to be fair, that is mentioned like at the very, very end, but just mentioned like on a news program. But it seemed like those would be situations that we would want to, not saying you have to show them like hostile style, but get a bit of the general gist of it. You think you would see a bit more of those type of scenes. Don't get me wrong, there are those kind of crazy scenes in this, but in a way, it's just kind of two little portions of his life. Like, there's the prison bit. I would probably say the prison bit was a little bit more interesting than when he was outside. But maybe just what happened and how it was all kind of a weird topsy-turvy world, at least the way portrayed in this prison, where I like the dialogue during it, the prison time. Oh, he's just a beer bum in the shower, and he'll like stab the shit out of this guy's face, but then he cries about it. And I don't know if it's one of those where he's got like bipolar, or he has these hot-headed moments where he just loses it. But then he like I don't know if I say like apologizes or hey, are you okay? And he seems sincere, but I don't know if it's just him faking sincerity so well that I bought into it, or he just really feels that way. And I do like the film, but one of the other nitpicks I have is you don't really get to dive into why he is this way. Now, maybe because there's no answers to get from that. Maybe they felt that would not be interesting for the viewer to see. But there's a bit of me that wanted to understand him a bit more. But maybe he's just crazy, and so there's nothing else to understand. But or maybe they feel that not explaining it makes him a bit more interesting. Maybe that's the case, but there's part of me that wanted to dive a bit deeper into his psychology. But at the same time, it was, again, stuff that would catch me off guard. Like, see, he cuts the shit out of this guy's face, but he's still alive. And then he's like crying about it and like trying to talk to him about it. Like trying to offer him a cigarette, and the guy throws a cigarette back at him. And then he'll get these ideas like, oh, they're going to come for me. Yeah, they're going to dip me. So he tells like two of his cellmates, and he's like, we're going to ice pit the spines of every prisoner in this division. We're going to turn them all into jelly sandwiches. And the other two, yeah, that's a bit crazy. But then one of them, Jimmy, I guess either worked with them or wanted to save his own skin, like stabs Chopper. And he's like, what's gotten into you? What's going on? And gets stabbed like a shitload of times, and he doesn't realize it. He doesn't feel it. And that was a bit interesting to see it play out. How he's kind of like being earnest and like, what's going on with you, man? What's happening? And then like, he gets getting stabbed, and like pushes him. He's like, okay, give me the knife. And he sits down, he's kind of looking at it, and good makeup effects. You see like he's bleeding out. And he's talking all kind of nonchalant about it. And like I said, even that alone is such an interesting way to portray an event that, again, makes me wonder, like, who the fuck is this guy? And like, definitely like you cut this guy's face up, but then this guy, you're like, you think he'd go in a rage and just beat the shit, ever-loving shit out of him. But he doesn't. Until ultimately the cops finally do come in. And then there's a bit later on, spoilers, that he needs to get out of prison, so he has someone chop like the top parts of his ears off. Like this part, chops like that part out of each bit, the outer part. I guess so that they think he's crazy and he'll go to like a mental ward. And the fact he got paroled, I'm wondering how the fuck did he get paroled? Even from the mental ward, whatever. Like, someone looked at this guy and said, yeah, you're fine and dandy. I kind of wanted to see that scene of how he got out. But I guess he was only in there. I guess to be fair, I guess he was only in there for a certain amount of time, which I'm surprised by. And then we get to and they said this section, I mean, I get it. It's, part of his life. Like, he has a girlfriend, but they just the idea that his girlfriend might have fucked this guy named Neville, so he like tries to ask her questions, but then beats the shit out of her, then beats the shit out of her mom. It's like, you see what he made me do? Not grinding. You're not supposed to like this guy. You're not supposed to root for this guy. It's the idea why it's in there, because it's part of it is, to remind the viewer that he may be at times kind of fun to watch and kind of funny in some of the stuff he says it does, but still a dangerous guy. But at one point, this devil guy won't give him money, and he shoots the guy in the abdomen. And then he knows that some people may put a contract out on him because of that. And the reason he shot Neville is because he slept with or more than likely, he slept with Chopper's girlfriend. Then goes to see Jimmy, who at this point has a kid and a pregnant wife. And the pregnant wife seems like a meth head or something. It's like he's ready to... It's a tense meeting. And that's what I mean. Like, there's certain moments of intensity because you don't know how the hell Chopper's going to react. And Eric Bana plays it so well. He's like a ticking time bomb that you don't know when he'll explode. And so you don't know what he'll do. Will he kill this guy? Will he actually do the whole family? You don't know because he's a bit unpredictable. And also that scene, I didn't mind the way it was lit with the green lighting. I thought that brought a nice little bit of atmospheric mood to it. So he threatens to shoot the guy. Then he apologizes. Then he gives the guy money. Like, he's ready to shoot the guy. I'm sorry, man. Gives him money. And then when he leaves, Jimmy ready to backstab him again. I'm like, maybe you should just leave him the fuck alone. Because you already stabbed the shit out of him and didn't feel it. He threatens you with the gun, then he's like, okay, and then gives you money. Just leave him the hell alone. How about that? But then, like, Jimmy and some others set up this plan to take him out. But the problem, Eric Bana and this other guy, they go out to the wrong parking lot. So it's just the two of them. Eric Bana sees what he's doing, so he pulls out... I'll be honest, it looked like a BB gun, but it's actually a sawed-off... They said a sawed-off shotgun. I don't know why I thought it looked like a BB gun. It doesn't look anything like it, but... some of the way it looked, the gun just looks different from sawed-off shotguns I usually see, so maybe that's why. I forget what kind he had. Sawed-off shotgun in Chopper. .410 shotgun. .410 bore single barrel shotgun with a short barrel and pistol grip as one of his weapons. So yeah, I don't know why I got confused about that. And he pulls down and shoots the guy in the eye, and because he knows the guy's going to go for something. Oh, and then another thing is he's actually kind of working with the cops, but not really. But like they'll let him do stuff for information. I kind of would like to have seen how that all started. And maybe he gave them grief, I'm not doing that, and how it kind of led him into working with these cops. And I'm sure there's plenty of other stuff he did with these guys, off and on. And I kind of wanted to see how that began, how that came about. But you kind of just thrust in the middle there, and it feels like I'm missing stuff. It feels like I'm missing pieces of the story. It feels like I'm missing pieces of the transition from getting out of the prison to where he is here, where again, now he's like kind of working for them in a way. Because he's trying to tell his side of the story, and he makes up that the guy had a gun, and he didn't do something, so it kept going click, click, click. That's why he pulled the gun out and shot him in self-defense. And that's kind of where it ends. That's another thing. It was kind of like a weird way to end the movie, where he's in prison again. He's getting interviewed, and he got like letters and photos where a lot of people, for I guess because the news got that person was a drug dealer or something, that they go to that place and they take photos of their own, as if it's, I don't know, the Rocky Steps from Rocky Balboa. I don't know. And he gets all these letters, and he's like goofing when he's being interviewed. And I said, Eric Bana, like, at times he's pretty funny. He's got a great personality to it. I'm a bestseller. I can't even spell. And that's where he's like asked about the whole toes and bolt cutters and stuff. Well, I just like the way they just pop off. And then you see that he's in a jail cell watching on TV. And you tell like the other prisoner and the guard, they treat him like royalty, like with respect. And then they leave, and then Eric Bana kind of, as he's all alone, he kind of does this. It's like the one moment where he has, I don't want to say meditative, but just like the one moment where he's quiet, the one moment he's contemplating, the one moment, I guess, away from the limelight, away from anything, where he gives a bit of pause. Well, I'm sure is meant to be a deeper meaning. But as everybody, I kind of wish we got to know a bit more about the guy himself and what made him tick a little bit more. But it didn't seem like that was the case. But at the same time, I did like it. I thought he had some funny moments with his reactions, like the bit where he's reacted to being stabbed or not reacting. I thought that was a pretty memorable scene. Certain bits of dialogue he has throughout the film, or bits when he's interviewed, had some funny stuff in them. The other actors I thought did fine. I didn't have any issue with them. But Eric Bana especially was the guy that impressed me and really showed he could do stuff. And after this, he was in like Black Hawk Down and Hulk 2003, and really liked him in Deliver Us from Evil. I don't know what he's done lately, but overall, I did like it. As I kind of, I wish for a bit more. I wish for a bit more, but overall, I did not mind this film. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.